want to talk about Batman in this video, right? And man, I swear to God, I was laying down last night. I just finished watching Breaking Bad. Was struggling to get off to sleep because of just a lot of excitement and just being excited about life. So I put my headphones in my ears, and you know when you're kind of like trying to go sleep, or you're listening to some YouTube videos, and this Batman 25-minute YouTube video came on. So I was kind of like half-hearted about watching it, because if any of you know me, you'll know that I absolutely love Batman, right? He's my favourite superhero. I don't even have to think about it. Yeah, I like Spider-Man, Superman. For me, just a personal thing. There's no competition. Even to the point where I've got a Batman teddy and I'm 36 years of age. I'll show you it, right? By the way, guys, right? It's cute, isn't it? It's like you want to punch it but kiss it. Don't worry, no funny things, right? I don't sleep with the teddy, but anyway, right? Listen, I already know a lot of you can love Batman. If you do love Batman, you can tell me all about it in the box below, because I know it means so much to men, right? If you stay on this video, although this kind of a video that I'm just kind of doing for my own entertainment, it's not really quote unquote like a coaching video or a confidence anxiety video like that format I usually do. Now I can be more casual. I don't have to kind of like be professional with everything I say, even though I will. But this video, it will go into that, right? Because there's different perspectives I want to talk about. So first of all, just as a fan, I'm just a fan of Batman, right? My dad introduced me to it growing up. He loved Batman. It got passed down the genes. So all my good childhood memories, amongst many other things, are so connected to Batman. If you took Batman away from my psyche in my life, it would be like cutting part of my limbs off, or my heart would sink, because that character, it gave me happiness growing up, it gave me entertainment, it gave me a sense of identity in many ways as a young shy boy who suffered with social anxiety I battled with confidence. I was confident sometimes and I wasn't. I was up and down with being depressed, happy, and on some levels, even though when I was younger, I didn't understand what I understand now, and what a lot of us talk about in this community of improving and working on your fears and being more conscious and integrating your shadow and being the best version of yourself. I didn't know it in that way, but I knew it through human instincts and intuition. And I knew somewhere that Batman was a bit like me and I was a bit like Batman, if that made sense. Even though part of me felt so much smaller, like less than this amazing larger than life character, but I had kind of connected with his darkness, but not in like a bad way, because I didn't see myself as like a bad dark kid. I saw myself as with a good heart, far from perfect of course, but the fact that he was quiet, and the outfit, the black cape, the Cape Crusader, but he kicked ass, he was fighting evil. So it's such a kind of complicated character. And he got the beautiful woman in the film, and the music, and I just loved it, man, as a kid. Honestly, man, even now it makes me so emotional how that character affected me, and watching the cartoons. Man, I could cry, man, seriously. As you get older, it's weird. I've got tougher in many ways. I've matured and grown, but there's a kid still in me, right? And I know all of you guys in your 30s, 20s, 50s, and I know you're all going to feel like this if you're going to be honest, right? And even talking about it now, it brings up so much emotions. Like I just get good memories with my dad, my family, friends. It's just so from the heart what that character done. I read the comics, I watched. Even though I could laugh at myself, I don't take myself seriously. Even the music, it's like Batman. That, as cheesy as that is now, when I was a kid, I used to hear the music. Oh man, I never knew I was going to get like this over Batman. How could this affect me? I can talk about mental health problems, overcoming near-to-death life experiences I've had growing up, changing people, all these challenges that are going on, and I can't even speak about Batman without almost breaking down and crying at my age. Oh man, I feel embarrassed and shy at this moment. Anyway, I shouldn't be, but yeah, I just watched it growing up. I watched all the films, and the film, the 80s film, or was it the 90s? I think it was 87 with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson and Kim Basinger. I still love that film, even though now it would be cheesy for the new generation. And all of the follow-up Batman films, it's wow, I can't believe how emotional I'm getting. I can't even get my words out. I'm getting emotionally blocked. Like all my I just feel a bit socially restricted because of it's just brought up so much emotion. I didn't know how I was going to feel about this stuff. It's crazy how we keep so many things bottled up as men, or just people in general, women, all of us, right? Especially us guys. And we don't realise that when we talk about these things, all these emotions come up. This is obviously a good thing, you know. It's almost like I'm going through, doing this video now is almost like going through like a positive therapy session or a coaching session. I don't know why it's been so challenging to talk about this. I think because me talking about my childhood love for Batman is kind of like bringing out different emotions that usually don't come out for me when I'm doing videos that are very outwardly helping others, which I love, which kind of take the spotlight off me, where now I feel like it's weird. I feel like the spotlight's really on me. But Batman goes through all that. Batman deals with social anxiety because he's always trying to hide that part of him, you know, that dark aspect, because the guy Christopher Nolan, who's an amazing director, was saying what he done different with the Batman story, with the later Batman films that are amazing, with Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, obviously Tom Hardy as Bane, and some of the other characters I can't think right now, right? Gary Oldman as Gordon, you know, you got Harvey Dent. He really went back to the origin of the character Batman. He studied the history of Batman. I didn't even know Batman'd been around for since the 60s, about 66 years now, I think. By the way, if I'm not exactly factual, guys, apologies. I don't always get the exact facts, but generally I'm speaking the truth, right? So he was saying that he really studied Batman, you know, not just the glamour side. When people think of Batman, they think of, oh, the black suit, the cape, jumping out onto roofs, fighting baddies, the Joker. So on a surface level, yeah, that's Batman. But when you actually go into who was he before he became Batman, which is Bruce Wayne, obviously he's a self-made millionaire. He has a lot of wealth, but he's struggling with these issues. His parents died when he was younger. He has a lot of guilt over that. He blames himself. He's angry. You know, he's seeing the world as a dark place, which is a projection of where he's at. Because originally, you know, obviously he wasn't a saint, but he was good, come from a good family, from what I could see. Very wealthy, educated, middle class, or whatever, they were upper class. But after his parents get killed unjustly, now he's scarred, he's angry, he's hurt, you know. And it's kind of distorted his worldview. So he has that dark part of him, which is the shadow. Even Christopher Nolan described it. That has kind of developed in the background, the years of bottling it up. And he puts on a front, doesn't he? When he's Bruce Wayne, it's like he acts this happy, this kind of charming, millionaire, kind of wealthy, but that's not really who he is. Underneath that, there's a lot going on that he's hiding from the world. And it's amazing how the guy said the bats are just a metaphor for fear. So, well, I'm going cold. I went cold last night, now I'm going cold, because the reason why I'm so emotional, because a lot of my own issues are in this story, and I know how much this is going to connect with all of you. And the work I've done over the years, I never knew that it was going to have some connection with a cartoon I used to watch as a little kid growing up, Batman, that I'd kind of would watch, take seriously, and then my mum would kind of joke with me, make fun over it. And I can still make fun of myself now with the teddy and the whole sort of loving a superhero. But on the actual personal level, when I think about things I dealt with over the years and the pain that I was keeping in from the world and hiding and trying to control because of things that happened to me that weren't fair, and I look at all of your struggles and the people that I've reached over, and this isn't really about me, how many lives I've changed, right? That's fantastic, but it's really getting to understand and feel more comfortable for me to come out with and share with the world the demons that I've been dealing with all my life, and how I've really made a lot of improvements of dealing with those demons, and I've helped so many of you to deal with your demons, because I can relate to you, because I I dealt with it too, the social anxiety, being bullied at school, you know, dealing with a lot of negative mental illness and depression and up and down, but also having this rock solid confidence in me I always had as a kid. And I know Batman has that just unshakable confidence when you kind of get down to the core of who he is. And Batman's whole challenge is he has to confront the darkest thing that he doesn't want to look at. So when he falls down that well as a little kid and all those bats comes, and he's scared of the bats, as you would be, any normal sane person, unless you're really kind of not comfortable with bats. But it's crazy how, and this makes me so emotional, the guy, Christopher Nolan, says Batman's so terrified of bats, which is a metaphor for fear. He's petrified underneath. Although he presents himself as this calm, confident, he's a billionaire, Bruce Wayne, relaxed. That's not how he really feels. And the honest truth is, deep down, we're all terrified. We all deep down feel frightened to death of life and certain things. You know, we're not terrified of everything, but a lot of things, and especially at certain stages of our life, right? So Christopher Nolan was saying what Batman done is he actually became the very thing that frightened him. He became fear. Like, he faced it. He wore it. He faced the thing that he was scared to death of, the thing that he despised. He was terrified of bats, fear, the pain of his family dying, the guilt, and he embodied fear to the point where he made a symbol out of it. He wore the bat. He became Batman. He became what he was afraid of, but he controlled it. He became fear, but he didn't go out and project it. He controlled it, and he done good with it. And that's where I really connect with the story. And I know we all like to believe we're special when we all are, right, in a healthy way. But that's what I've done. That's what I've done over the years. I've helped people by controlling my darkness, the pain that I went through growing up, things that people have done to me, terrible things people done. I could have easily gone the other way, which I'm thankful I didn't. I kind of did at the early stage, and I've helped a lot of you to change your life in that way. And you've helped me, and my mentors have helped me, right? So it just hits on so many levels, and it's that metaphor and that story that I see playing out again and again in a positive way. And that's what makes him great. It's not that he's because when you watch Superman, even I love Superman, Superman comes across as this, like, Superman can't put a foot wrong. He doesn't really have any darkness, unless I got the story wrong, and Spider-Man. But Batman is messed up. I was messed up psychologically. He's been traumatized, and he's got this rage and anger that he's hiding, containing, because he's conscious. He doesn't want to damage other people, and he's kind of like closes off from the world. He has issues with intimate relationships. He had problems with women at the start. Any woman that tries to get close to him, he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I relate to all these struggles, and so do you guys. That's what I've been helping a lot of you. So the fact that he has the bollocks to face absolute hell on earth terror, and to get control over his fear, and to still be scared but to achieve what he's done is amazing. And to still choose to be a good person, because it's a choice, a moral choice. So there's Batman is like very biblical, or in any religious, or the fight against good and evil. So he has to fight his own evil in himself and then fight the evil outside, face the external evil. And so it's amazing, man. I thought, wow, what a great way that they broke it down, and I'm just kind of explaining it how I heard it and felt. But yeah, I can relate to it on so many levels, even though it's fictional. It's weird, it's fictional, but it's true in reality. And I know a lot of you will feel the same. I'm sure you're going to let me know in the box, but I don't even have to tell you. So I really connect with that character, and I really feel like Batman really flies the flag for people like us that have kind of been put down by other members of society that say, oh, introverts or shy. There's nothing wrong with being introverted and shy if you become fearless. And that's probably why I'm so obsessed, and I created a whole brand on conquering fear, because it has that significance and meaning for me and for what I've wanted to help people with. And that's what I did, My fear was people, was social phobia, social anxiety, and fears of life and stuff. And it was weird, because sometimes I don't even know how I did it. The very thing I was frightened of, I went out and faced it, and in a positive way, and changed people's lives, which is people. I've worked with so many people over the years, I forgot that sometimes. So it doesn't make sense logically. It's like, why would you want to face something that you're so frightened of and help and be good to when it's been bad to you? But that's the power of love. That's the power of, I know I've gone deep here, right? That's the power of God and faith and defeating evil in yourself and in the world if you choose, if you want to do that, which I want to and I chose to, right? But he's got the courage to, at some point, look at the darkness in himself, which I've done, and we all know a lot of you haven't done it. A lot of you have done it. A lot of you in the midst of doing it, right? Not judging anyone. I'm just telling the truth, right? So Batman has to face truth, and that's, you know, he wouldn't be that person if he didn't go through these challenges. And that's what made me realize about myself, and I hope you guys can get a lesson and a blessing from this video, because you wouldn't be who you was if these bad things didn't happen to you, then these good things wouldn't have happened to you. So it's really about a story of transformation through a character that's fictional but has got loads of true full life lessons passed down from generations of different people. And it's, you know, anyone can relate to Batman. And I always loved it as a kid because he got the girl in the end. He saved the world, saved the day, and you know, he really does kind of, he embodies like a true servant, a true you know, whatever you would call a disciple, you know, saves humanity. He helps, and you can tell that he goes through so much pain, and I've gone through the same. It's been, man, I think people, unless you coach or teach, you've got no idea the pain you've got to go through to help others to get past their pain and succeed in their life. That is painful, but I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. So Batman goes through a lot of pain. And it made me realize why so many people don't face their fear and their demons, because they're just not able, they're not able to deal with the pain, unfortunately, where many other people, we choose it and we succeed. So it was inspiring, man. I had to talk about it on this channel. I mean, how can I have a YouTube channel for almost 10 years and not mention something so significant to me and so many of you out there? And I'm just thankful to Christopher Nolan and all the writers and Adam West, all the actors over the years, because they give so much to a child, to a kid, inspiration, love. And I think if I didn't watch that growing up, I wouldn't be the person I am. I wouldn't have gained a lot of confidence. I wouldn't have met great people and been able to deal with things and be a better person. And you know, I think every introvert will relate to Batman. Anyone who's got social anxiety, who's had it, and he's proof that it doesn't, despite all these issues, you can still become very successful and happy and confident. So that's my message, all right? So become fearless and face your fears, and yeah, check out Batman.